Okay, here's my question. Since you just made this comment about Ohio State and their level and where Miami is right now, and then trying to get to that uh, top of the line of college football, the elite 3 or 4. Miami last year went 7-5. They were about the 35th to 40th best team in the country. The people aren't going to like that comment that I just made. Now,
It was the
the
truth.
difference, they weren't the 35th or 40th most talented team in the country. They were more
Those are
like the
two separate
15th
things.
to 20th most talented team in the country, but they didn't play quite there. So let's say this season, we know that Miami's got a top 15 to 18 roster. They're somewhere in that range, right?
Right.
So let's say they play that way, probably about a 9-3 season. The teams we're talking about: Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, and if you want to put anyone else in that category, those are the 3 highest teams in regards to winning, recruiting, etc. What's the
Developing
difference?
first round draft picks.
Yeah, all
Those
that.
3 are the top 3.
What's the difference between what Miami's done to get to this point and what, let's say, they produce the kind of season? They don't have a great season, but they don't have a disappointing season. They do what most people think they're going to do. They're about the 15th best team in the country, let's say. The difference between that and getting to that.
Oh, man. Talent acquisition. Talent. Doing the basic things the right way and not getting in our own way, Mark, is an easy walk to 9 wins, in my opinion. It's not 9 wins. Okay? We have been battling back and forth for the last 3 to 4 years on being a 6, 7, and 8 win team. Why? Regardless of who the coach was, we just didn't do things the right way. Okay, we didn't know what work ethic is in 2022. That's what these players are talking about. They thought they were working hard under the previous regime. Well, those people only knew what they knew. But now we have championship level coaching. Again, I don't know if it's going to turn out to be 10-2, 11-1, 12-0, championship this, championship that. But it's about the little things. Are we doing the little things the absolute right way? Do we know where we need to be at all times? Okay. Do we know that we need to hang at the hash mark and not get drifted by a quarterback and they throw a little skinny route and Corey Couch is in the wrong spot and 4th and 14 happens because we stepped one place out the right spot and an open window was right there and they threw the ball and it was a perfect catch on 4th and 14. Okay. Or do we understand how to communicate in pass protection to where our quarterback doesn't get hurt? Do we understand how we're supposed to communicate in the secondary and pass certain people off? Just the main things. Open field tackling, catching the football when it's thrown to you, whether you play offense or defense. Okay, getting 11 men to the football, stripping at a ball that's when you see a secure tackle and you're the second or third man to the ball, punching at the ball to get it out of there. Just those little things we weren't doing enough, Mark, on a consistent level. And to me, with the talent, even the roster that we had pre all these transfers, okay, if you do that right, that's 8 wins, 8, 9 wins. Now, having having an elite staff, having an elite roster, having an elite quarterback, having elite backups, and then really good threes. That's when you start to talk about those guys on a whole different level. Because what they're doing is they're competing elite against elite in practice, and iron is sharpening iron. And then they're taking each other from the 5-star, 80 overall levels that they already have and making each other 90s. I mean, the guys behind them who walked in at 70s and 78s, almost 80s, now they're in the new 80s and 85s. And now you got these where you're elite and elite and elite and elite, and you're stacking it on top of each other. And not just when, okay, you're stacking all this stuff on top of each other, and then a young man quits on his team 2 weeks before the first game because he can't handle the competition. Or a young man decides, I want to be a starter, I'm out of here. You talk about those elite programs, you rarely see the transfers out. Bama's recently had it as of late, but for a long time, those young men will go there and sit on the bench for 3-4 years because guess what? Whenever it's their turn, they're going to be an elite player and they're going to be a first or second round draft pick. And that's what these teams at the highest level do. And it's not about who the coordinators are. It's about who the head man is and who the strength and conditioning coach. Those two major hires, if you follow any elite program, those two hires are top tier. Doesn't matter what offensive scheme we're running, doesn't matter what kind of defensive scheme we're running. We're going to bring in the talent, and the talent is going to shake hands with me first as the head man, and then they're going to shake hands with the strength and conditioning and nutrition staff. And that's who they're going to spend 80 to 90% of their time with anyway. And they're going to make them elite, and then they're going to hand us these high talented 4 and 5 star recruits in some of the best shape that we can have them. And then now it's our job to teach them football and teach them how we want them to play and how we want them to put their hand placement and foot placement and follow through hips and all that kind of stuff. And then we go out there and we kick the other teams behind and we critique what you did wrong, and you be able to take constructive criticism. And you do it all over again the next day. And if you can continue to do that, then you'll build an elite program, Mark. And it sounds easy from me just reiterating it, but you have to be able to have the finances to do that kind of stuff, the buy-in from your administration. You got to have teachers and school that's on board with having these young men on campus, with working together. If you see something, you contact me and we help get it handled. Not attacking our young men and making our young men feel uncomfortable for being on campus because they're athletes. Okay, an administration that wants these young men here because they're great players. Not, we care about academics. I don't know if you can get the test scores to get in here. All that kind of stuff, which is why you usually see public schools do so much better than private schools. It's because their agendas are usually different. But those are just some of the things that in my study of these elite programs, they have it in lockstep. And they want to be great. And they do everything required to get further and further and further and further and higher. Even after winning, they try to create an even bigger gap between them and the nearest person. Not just, hey, as soon as we won a ball game. Oh, we got it. It's over. No. Oh, we won a natty. It's over. No. That's not how the game is coached and played now. It's a continuous strive every year. Nothing you've done in the past matters. It's what you're doing right now and what we're going to do.